Hey, hi, how's it going? For those of you who are new to this channel, I've been making the series called The Unknown Continent, which is a series of animatics of the best moments from my friend's D&D campaign. In this video, I will be discussing my top 10 favorite characters from that campaign. This list will include PCs and NPCs, but I will exclude any of my characters, which includes all the characters from Togen, which is where my character Adrian is from. So without further ado, here are my top 10 favorite characters from the Unknown Continent. Number 10. Sergey. So for those of you who don't know anything about this campaign, there is this empire named Aerthar that's trying to take over a continent by sending explorers to find anything that can be helpful or dangerous to them. That's where the PCs come in. The DM made a few other adventurers to help out this mission, and one of them was a noble named Sergey Torkil. Now at first, Sergey was a bland character. The DM didn't put much thought into him. He was created just for the purpose of being another adventurer that signed up for the mission. One of the players couldn't make it for one session, so the DM came up with the idea of playing the characters from Sergey's group. He told us that we were allowed to give them any personality since he never really gave the characters any thought. The player that played Sergey gave him the personality of a stereotypical knight, and he instantly became one of my favorite characters. I don't remember much about him except that he was jealous that someone in the group tamed a dinosaur and not him. He would call the halfling druid his steed because during a battle, she transformed him into a horse to help him out. And I also drew a comic strip of him. I really hope that I get to see this character in future sessions. Number 9. The Queen of Air and Darkness. Ever since one of the PCs met her in a dream and tricked him into claiming his soul, she became sort of a big part of the story. This PC hanged himself after his soul was claimed by the Queen since he thought he was a burden to the group. And also, the player quit the campaign due to his scheduling. My character Adrian found out about a prophecy that the Queen will trade the PC's soul and it will not go in her favor, and his soul will be history. There have been times Adrian tried to make a deal with her, but she is a trickster, so it's hard to trust her, so he has given up on that. Chaotic villains are one of my favorite villain types, and the Queen of Air and Darkness is definitely on my top 5 favorite villains. Number 8. Takeshi.
Unicorns fucking suck!
Takeshi is the Aertharian noble of the Pengtuk house and is the brains of the group. His abilities are inventing tools that can help the party and having high perception that can make him stay alert for even a tiny bug that might crawl up his leg. Takeshi can be kind or can be cold-hearted depending on the situation. If you are somebody he wants to be allies with or somebody that earns his respect, he would be nice to you, but if you are a racist edgelord or you betrayed him, he will probably kill you with no hesitation. The one thing I find fascinating about him is the relationship between him and Adrian. They both have different perspectives since they live in different countries and have been raised differently. Adrian has anger issues and Takeshi can make him get on his nerves. But he understands that he does have a heart and he does consider him as a friend. I will admit that I kind of like the player's last character from our last campaign better, but there are things I do like about him. I mean, he got to be in the top 10 for belief's sake. Anyway, for 7, Philly.
No, you're going in timeout, Philly. Aw, I hate timeout!
Yeah, this is the guy who tamed the dinosaur. Before the campaign, the DM ran one of the dungeons from the Yawning Portal, using our characters for the campaign to help us getting used to playing as them. We met a goblin named Philly and sent him to the capital of Aerthar to become a prisoner with the other goblins we found in the dungeon. The Aertharians sent Philly to help out with them expanding their empire and became a supportive character with traveling. Philly is a childish goblin that loves to paint and hates Takeshi for not being fun. His interactions with the PCs have been priceless, and I love that he became more than just a plot armor goblin that is just there to help us with travel. Number 6. Moshi.
I have never been here. This is really cool. And he just kind of like floats upwards. Whee!
Moshi is a cat that transforms into any material that he touches. For example, if he's walking on grass, he turns into grass. If he's eating a piece of meat, he turns into meat. He was created by a mad scientist named Elphias, who was a headmaster of an elven school. Why did he make him? He's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DM. If you did in fact told us why he created him, I don't remember if you did. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Takeshi's the one with the notes, not me. Anyways, anything about Moshi? Well, he's old, so he's slow. He's not very bright. And for some reason, he's following Adrian around. He's cute and funny, and I love him. Number 5, Marcus.
Yeah.
Left or right?
Let's.
Great choice. As I start heading up to the left side.
There are a group of werebears called the Gardeners, who are enemies of another group of werebears called the Bloodborns. The Gardeners send some of the werebears and the halfling druid Mimi to find a place to live that is far away from the Bloodborns so they wouldn't have to start a war with them. Once I found out that the group was heading towards an important area, I asked the DM if we could roleplay them going there in one of the sessions. Since Takeshi's player couldn't be there for one of the sessions, the DM decided for us to play as the Gardeners for that session. One of the players made a werebear fighter named Marcus. Okay, the DM created his character sheet, but the player was the one who picked his name in class. Marcus was such a fun character, like, this is the same player that Sergey, like, ow. Ow. Shane! Why are you so good at coming up with characters on the fly?
Macaroni and cheese with the chicken strips.
If you haven't seen my video of him, go watch it. Number 4, Samhain.
What the fuck is that?
I cast
Apparently
a
he
minor
got new.
illusion, so you could see me smile politely with the big jack-o'-lantern
Jesus
smile.
Christ.
I don't know anything about the official D&D lore when it comes to dual hands, so I'll tell you about how they work in this universe. The dual hands can only be summoned by an archfey and are given a mission. If they succeed on that mission, they go into eternal rest. Samhain was one of them. His goal was to
Fuck witches.
but he didn't seem to be interested in doing that. He would always carry the head of another dual hand named Mortimer. Their interactions with each other was priceless. The entire time Samhain was a part of the party, his interactions with the PCs was filled with craziness, not understanding his intentions or what he was. Sadly, he only was in 1.5 sessions because, well, he got eaten by a giant frog monster, and the party couldn't catch up with it. Rest in peace, Samhain. You were the best. Unlike that, number 3, Tiberius.
I can see why you're called the Goliaths. It was a good name.
Tiberius is the son of Cornelius, the leader of the Gardeners. He's a very kind and high-spirited person that cares for his people. The DM also confirms that he's apparently a pole vaulter. So far out all the NPCs that are still alive, Tiberius is my favorite. His bubbly personality makes me adore this character, and I hope nothing bad ever happens to him. Number 2, Litha.
The one, did you see the one out in the hills on your way in? The
Where
one I
he was-
turned into an
was-
Aurochs?
Just crawling.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, he's still doing it! It worked! The ogres are so dumb!
The party found a cavern of ogres that were acting a bit strange. One of them told us that a monster was cursing them and forcing them to do their bidding. We found out that the person behind this was Litha, a gourd-head dual hand that was tricking the ogres into thinking she was a powerful wizard. Litha was not all interested in her mission, and that the Fae knows about trickery.
Fae know magic, it's harder to trick them.
So she left the forest of the Fae so she can find other people to prank. She took things a bit too far that Takeshi had enough of her and tried to kill her, which ended up being a PvP with him in this PC named Babylon. He was tired of Takeshi's crap and was a bit soft with Litha, given the fact that his god was also a dual hand. He wanted to kill Takeshi. After that whole crazy situation happened, Litha wanted to go see Babylon's god, so he created a path to help her find him. But when Takeshi spotted her, he shot her, and that was where her story ended. The DM was very proud of this character, and I could see it. I could tell he was really into role-playing this character. Like I said, my favorite type of villain is the chaotic ones, and she was extremely chaotic, making her my favorite NPC in the entire campaign. Before I announce my number 1 character, here are a few honorable mentions.
What do you think about this theory of the wayward ruler of this grove's mortal friends?
Mortimer, who created me?
Gods, probably.
I smack Mortimer.
Ah,
A what?
I don't know. Your mother.
If you
You have
want,
to-
you can have a piggyback ride.
On who?
Me.
Little man funny.
I'll pick him up like a baby.
Oh my gosh!
Why, that's the old, I know this, oh, it's the great giant who lives in the mountain! They say he's 1,000,000 feet tall!
Oh,
and he
goddamn.
killed 10 dragons with one swing of his sword!
Careful, choose your next words, sire. Would it kill you to...
In his mind, be nice sometimes to your son.
Oh, that's fucking rough.
So, Gruul died after I started making animatics, so here's a picture of him. His relationship with Hugo was great, and he was kind of funny. Yeah, that's all I got. Number 1, Hugo.
She died right
works
after
in
birth.
mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Oh, I lament your loss.
Yeah, it's too big.
Hugo is a Goliath barbarian that was kicked out of his village for being accused of setting fire to the town hall. He met Gruul after accidentally getting caught in one of his traps and became best friends. Wherever Gruul will go, Hugo will follow. Once they found out that the Airtharians wanted some adventurers to explore a continent, they decided to sign in because they thought it would be fun. A couple sessions later, Gruul died, and Hugo never knew about this until later on. He never felt sad that his best friend passed away because he believes in moving forward, and that the player thinks trying to make your characters emotional is cringe. Since then, Hugo has become the strongest character in the party and is extremely overpowered. The reason why I put Hugo number 1 on my list is that he makes the campaign fun. Even during a boring session, he's always there to make us laugh or has an epic moment during a battle. I might be biased by saying that he is a good example of creating a comical relief character. Hugo is just fun, and I love him for it. By the way, this is the same guy who played Sergey and Marcus. Like, this guy isn't really a nerd. Like, him liking D&D is the nerdiest thing about him, and yet he makes good characters. Like, how does he do it? Thanks for watching. This was just a fun idea that I wanted to do so my friends could see my terrible taste. For those of you who are new to my channel, I don't normally make these type of content, but I do make simple animatics of this campaign, and a few other YouTubers. See you next time. Goodbye, peace, and whatnot. Leave a like!